Hello. I'm playing around with how I say hello. Apparently that time it was phlegmy. Uh, I'm going to stream for a tiny bit, as usual. I'm going to switch my view straight into the drawing mode because I want to get on with it. Cheers, by the way. Coffee? Coffee? Your opinions on coffee? You're allowed to have any opinion you like on coffee as long as they agree with mine. And if they don't, then I don't want to hear it. Okay, let's change views. 1, 2, 3, bam! Okay, so, I'm coming in cold. I haven't done any drawing. Coming in cold. And first impressions, I like it. I'm actually getting used to this. The aerial. I still need to draw a little thing at the top. Now, I think the last thing I drew yesterday was the light switch here. Oh, there goes the computer. The fans. Wow. Yeah, that light switch is fine as it is. Door? I think the door's alright, isn't it? Door's okay, I think. I need to straighten out the line here just so that I can kind of tell where this window. Hold on, let's have a quick. I just need to check this. Just need to quickly check whether we see any of the far edge of this. No, we don't. Okay, that's interesting. Actually, that seems so much. Huh. What a optical illusion to me right now. Right. So I think I'm happy with the door. Do the hinges need to be there? Let's see what it looks like from a faraway distance. I think when it comes to these hinges, maybe, you know what it is? I reckon they don't. There doesn't need to be two pairs of two. Even so, that was a detail I liked. But actually, I think for clarity. Oh, which layer is this? Here we go. Get rid of that and get rid of that. Yeah, I don't think we need, frankly, more than that. But I'm actually going to maybe just move this up a little bit. Oh, too much. About there. No, wait. About there. Get rid of that line, because it doesn't look quite right. Like I say, I'm coming in cold. So my hand is totally, like, I can feel it's all not coordinated quite right. What was I doing before I came online to do this stream? I was washing up, which unfortunately did not warm up my hand in the same way drawing does. I wish it did. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness. It's really subtle, there we go, but there it is. Right, so flip this mirror off. I think what I'm going to do now, I had a couple of ideas. One, I'm going to put like an alarm bell thing here, like one of those old-fashioned ones where it's like ding. It all has to be slightly like late 70s, mid 80s in its sort of design, because it's, I mean, the computer belies that it's the late 80s, but, you know, just because it's the late 80s in terms of computer technology doesn't mean that the rest of the room is caught up. You know how it is. It's exactly the same these days. Infrastructure of a working environment isn't necessarily the latest. So yeah, I'm going to do like some kind of bell thing here. Ooh. Bell thing with like a little thing like that. Anyway, and then do I do the strip lights now? I mean, as in this stream, I think maybe yes. Something like that. Is that might need to be a bit more like. Did I just nail the perspective there? Not sure. Mirror view to the rescue, no doubt. So yeah, some kind of strip light there. Might actually need it to be wider, funnily enough. Maybe actually be a bit more... be better if it was a bit more like... a bit more like that. And maybe it doesn't need to come down to the wall quite so much. And then here-ish, or actually maybe now there's... where would it be best? Would it be best here? Or would it be best here? Maybe it is better here actually. So here is going to be sort of like it's just going to be like a thing. It's going to be like an amalgamation of a large... it's going to sort of be like some kind of large water sprinkler, like fire sprinkler sort of thing, combined with a old-fashioned fire alarm. It's not really anything. I don't think such a thing exists, but it's just like a detail to have on the ceiling that looks old-fashioned. And I think I'm going to have it there. Okay, and then I think, apart from adding a few more details to what's already there and sort of some fixes, that might be it. Possibly that might be it. Okay. You know what would help? It would help if I made the door bits blue, because that way they feel like they're part of the they feel real because they're the same color as everything else. Obviously not all on the same layer. Maybe I should make it all on the same layer. Is that everything from this layer? Okay, cut. And oh wait, no, this is the layer I want it to be on. Okay, let's do this again. Not much on that one. And then underlay layer, this should have a bit more. Underlay. Has anybody ever made that joke before in animation? Underlay. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that seems instantly like it's more real. But you know what? I think, and I did say this yesterday, no, I don't want it. It's not necessary. I might just have a tiny bit of shading but right now it feels very unnecessary and sort of distracting. I've just reminded myself, I don't know why, but I don't know what's reminded me, but I have reminded myself that I may be having a meeting at some point today or tomorrow, and if it goes well, I probably won't be able to stream quite as much as I am at the moment, which isn't a huge amount, but it might be a little bit less, just because it's going to be quite an intense project for a couple of weeks. So just a little heads up that that might be happening. And it's the kind of job where, because it's a job where I draw, I will probably be all drawn out. That is a double entendre. I'll be all drawn out by the time the day's done, so the likelihood of me wanting to then also do some drawing streaming afterwards, fortunately, will be quite slim, and I don't want to give myself RSI. So, which can happen, absolutely can happen if you draw too much. It's happened to me. Oh, can you hear that? Somebody with a very loud motorbike outside. I hate loud motorbikes. I really do. They're so obnoxious. I don't know why people like them. They're so obnoxious. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to tidy up this tiny corner because I can see it and it's annoying me. This is all, the music, by the way, is all from a game called Baby Universe? Is it Baby Universe? Hold on, I'm just checking Jellyfin. Yeah, it's from a PlayStation game, 1997, called Baby Universe. It's like part of this wave of Japanese sort of experiential games, you know, where it's I think a bit more of a digital toy than it is an actual sort of, you know, game in a traditional sense. The line width is too widthy. Is 8 better? 8's a little better. Okay, there we go. Alright, okay, so that's the door. Let me just see if this door switch needs any more details. Can I just do this again? I know I tried it yesterday and then deleted it, but I just want to try it again. Is that adding anything? No. Is it? I wonder if it might be worth doing it on a couple like that. And then again on this one here. Is that worth it? Maybe, yeah, maybe actually, maybe that works. Alright, cool. Moving on. So that's the door layer, which is which one of these? Tap. Rough Room BG. Okay, so what's that one? Middle ground. Okay, cool. So if I'm doing these bits, hang on, if that's the middle ground and that's the background, middle ground. Okay, alright. I don't know why I've split those on 2 layers, but there must have been a reason. Then in between these two, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, I'm going to tidy this up and then rasterize it as one layer anyway for the colouring. I might, maybe not into one layer. I was thinking about this yesterday. I definitely want to rasterize all these lines because they're really slowing down Toon Boom because of how much, I guess, information there is. But I think what I'll do is I'll actually just simplify it into 3. Why aren't you zooming out? There we go. Into like 3 layers of line work. So like 1 layer for foreground, 1 layer for middle ground, and then 1 layer for the background. Because that might make some of the colouring a bit easier to do, because then I can kind of do it in stages. But definitely, like at the moment, it's tons of layers. Well, tons is an exaggeration, but more than's required for the colouring stage. And frankly, even just rasterising it all will make the biggest difference. Okay, where was I? Back to 1, please. Thank you. New layer, and we can call this one door alarm. Rough door alarm. Naming conventions, please. Door alarm 01. Add and close. All right. What layer did I do this on there? The one below it, I think. Yes. So you can. What should I do? Should I delete that? What layer is this? Underlayer? Underlayer. Paste in place. Turn into this light red. Actually, no, turn this into green. What's less obtrusive? Because I'm just going to draw on top of this. Let's do it like that. Oops. Okay, so... Oh, come on, please, Toon Boom. There we go. Alright, so it needs to be kind of middle to the door. This is like a... I don't know, what would the function of this be? It's some kind of alarm. Maybe it's telling people... There's some kind of alarm to do with the business of making... Maybe it's just a bell to tell people like when to clock off or something. Okay, Rogers, you finished making all those letter A's. Sorry, I won't do that again. I've got it stuck in my head that this workshop is in Queens, New York, because that's where the original Sesame Street lot, is. I lived not far from it actually when I was doing my postgraduate, and there's a museum there called the Museum of Moving Image, which has a lot of oh my god, like children's television workshop stuff. And not only, just like lots of Jim Henderson stuff, so like Star Wars stuff and Fraggle Rock, right? Is that one of them? Was Fraggle Rock Jim Henson? Obviously the Muppets in general. No, it was Fraggle... What's the one with Skeechers? The one that Netflix recently did a reboot of. Anyway, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, show... No, I can delete this actually. I don't need this anymore. Let's get rid of it. Wrong layer. Okay. So, a bell... Good old-fashioned round bell thing. The urge for me not to monitor my emails at the moment is very high. Wait, the urge for me to monitor my emails at the moment is very high, yes. So, apologies. I'm just waiting for an email to come in.
You have just received an email.
Oh, sorry about that. That was probably very loud. That was probably very loud. Oh my goodness, phone, please. Right, there we go. I'm going to turn that down a tiny bit. Done. Sorry about this. Perfect, cool. Nothing at the moment. And sorry about that. That notification sound is obnoxiously loud for a reason. So that when I'm out and about, I can hear it. I usually have my phone in my back pocket, so if it's on vibrate, I can feel it, but not always. Is that round enough? Alright, that'll do. Hope didn't mean to do that. I meant to do that. So there we go. What I might do is make this a tiny bit bigger though, actually. Okay. Right. Now. Just going to try to work out the perspective on this thing. So, I think it's just going to be quite flat straight on, isn't it? With maybe a hint of underneath. A hint of underneath. So, if I do something like this. Something like that, kind of. Might need to make it actually smaller still. Yeah, I'll make it smaller still because it's maybe a bit too close in size to the base arm take. Toon Boom's really beginning to struggle now, so it's definitely coming up to the point where I need to rasterize these this line work, because it's beginning to actually affect my ability to draw, because I'm having now to wait half a second every time I undo something. Rasterize. Never actually quite looked up the meaning of rasterize. I just know what it does when various drawing software, Photoshop, is there a raster function in any other software? I'm sure there is. Does raster just mean sort of, because I'm thinking of like raster graphics, which I think from back in the day, didn't that mean like pre-rendered or something? I can't remember. I'm just making this up now as I go along. Yeah, something like that. Am I right? Am I wrong? What is it about this? Hold on. I think what I need to do is start from the top. Start from the top. Smaller. Okay, but now that gives the impression that it's much more of a no, bit lower actually. Probably like that, but small. Yeah, something a bit more like that. Okay, so if I cut those, delete this. Sorry, it's just working this all out on the fly. A bit more like that. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that's basically what the bell is. Oh, I hit that. I accidentally hit the print screen button at some point, obviously. Cut. Oh, I think I've played this track before on stream because I said it reminded me of Penguin Orchestra Cafe, and then I played Penguin Orchestra Cafe. I hope nobody minds that I'm playing the same track again. But it does sound very much to me like the music you'd have for a telecoms advert, because there's something quite telephone coded. This is very telephone coded. Isn't that how the youth describe things now? Telephone codes? What, like 0044 for the UK? No. I mean, it has a telephone sound to it. Okay, I'm seeing that I need to do just a little bit more of a line like this here. I think that's better. Slightly maddening having to wait for whenever I cut or undo or anything, having to wait like half a second every time is beginning to get on my goat. Get off my goat. Is that another Britishism that I should definitely not be saying with a crap American accent? That's fine. I don't know why I'm fussing so much here. Okay, there we go. Alright, I think that's it. Enough of that for the bell. So now, what to do? To do this, I think. So, I'm going to do like something like this. No, it's not a smiley face. It's to give the impression that there's a recess. Now we've moved on to Yuji Toriyama. He was the guy, I think I said previously, who did some music for Capcom, including Street Fighter 2, I think. Oh my god. Please. There we go. It does look like a smiley face. Hee 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 hee. Well, that's not what I want to do here. Do you see how long it took for those to disappear after I hit Control Z? Well, it did. It took a while. Okay, that's basically to give the impression of a slight recess. Is that actually slightly better? Probably not. Maybe it's better if I just have it like that. Okay. And then in the middle, the thing that holds the bell in place. This is now looking so much like a face. So I need to change something about this, because otherwise it's just going to look like a face to me the entire time. The entire time. Oh my goodness me. These lags. I apologise. It's probably more frustrating if I keep bringing up the fact that this is really laggy now. But it's okay, because we're nearly done with the drawing stage. And that means I can rasterize. And then everything will be nice and smooth again. For a bit. I haven't quite decided if I'm colouring in Toon Boom using like the bitmap layer function, or if I'm colouring in, oh dear, I'm so sorry for my yawning, or if I'm colouring in Photoshop. I tell you what, I'm going to do something wild here to make this look a bit less like it's just a basic rectangle. I almost called it a square, could you imagine? Definitely not a square. 100% a rectangle. Ah. Not quite as round as I want, but that's fine. Ooh. Very messy. Why is it so messy? Delete that. Delete that. Okay. And now same treatment up here. That's better. That's it. That'll do, honestly. Okay, again here, and again here. Being really fussy with how rounded my supposedly rounded corners are supposed to be. I absolutely love in this track the contrast of the bass line and that synthy, almost like whistling tone. It's really good. Sorry, YouTube listeners, watchers. I keep calling the YouTube lot listeners, and they are, I'm assuming, watching as well as listening. Okay, yes, there we go. Right. So this might be too much depth, possibly. Let's try to make it as subtle as possible. Again, this might be one where I just end up cutting the line work from the bottom edge and just having the shading giving the impression of depth. Yeah, I don't know what filter they've got on this bass, electric bass, but it's got such a cool full sound. I'm assuming it's an actual bass guitar with some effects or filters on it rather than a synth bass, but I could be wrong. Maybe it is a synth bass. They did all sorts in these days, in those days, those days. Yeah, this one is a bit too round. There we go, that's better. Cool. Now what? Now for the bell bit, I suppose. So again, don't want to go into too much detail, but something, and that's made it too wide. Give a bit more clearance from the bell itself. So this is like the mechanism that houses this is the box that houses the mechanism that hits the bell. There we go, perfect. And then down. And now, so the bell hitting something like this, I think. Ding, 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 ding. So maybe something along the lines of, I might draw it one line just to get the shape right, and then thicken it out afterwards. So some kind of mallet-y thing to hit the bell itself. Maybe do this on the layer above. Otherwise it's just going to be a mix of lines and I won't know what I'm doing. You know what, I might simplify it so it's actually not like a mallet, it's more like just a round thing like this. Okay, and then, oh, very sexy. Not this bell I'm drawing, the music. We've got some moaning. I don't know how else to describe it. It's moaning. This is just like What's Her Chops all over again. I had a friend come on my stream as in visit a little while ago, and there was some music with what's her name? I keep wanting to say Donna Summers, and it's not Donna Summers. She does some moaning of her own, but not Donna Summers. It was oh dear, I'm so bad with names. Some names. So bad with some names. If it's music that I don't listen to very frequently, then I tend to really struggle remembering the artist's name. But this person I'm thinking of is very famous. Anyway, she does a track where she talks about, the lyrics are about, well, frankly, not very euphemistic sexual intercourse, and man, what is her name? I can't remember. And my friend who came on the stream was just saying, oh, you know, the lyrics, even though the lyrics were very, very obvious, they were joking around in saying that actually maybe they weren't very obvious and they may have been singing about something completely differently. is where I'm beginning to struggle to make sense and draw at the same time. It's bound to happen. Okay, now, if I get rid of that, in the middle, can you even see what that is? I think I may have to rethink how this is going to look. So maybe really simple, much simpler. I think I'm being far too clever by half, as they say in the UK. He's been far too clever by half. Might even be more regional than the UK in general. It might just be something they say down here in the southeast. I'm going back to the mality idea, and then I just have like a simple connector with the mechanism, because I think that might read a little better than what I was originally intending to do. So actually it needs to be more like that. Okay, let me see what that looks like. Yeah, you see that's a bit more legible. Okay, so but what I'm going to do is flatten this curve a little bit. Keeping an eye on the time. And then same again, just flattening this out a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you see I can still, even this, at this size, I can still kind of see what's going on there, which is the point. Cool, alright, so let's just work out these details here now. Actually needs to be this line, it needs to be a bit more like this. I'm going to check my phone in a second, because like I said, I'm a bit on tenterhooks, as they say. Not tender hooks, it's tenterhooks. Tenterhooks have nothing to do with tenderizing. Anyway, I'm on these tenterhooks, waiting for a reply to this email about a meeting, but I'm not hearing anything back. Oh, my phone's here, that's why I'm looking this way. No, nothing. Zip. Zip. Oh well. Cool. Alright. Well, hopefully they'll get back to me at some point in my life. In my long, illustrious life. Man. Come on. Thank you. Oh, I think we've looped back to the first album, so I might just what do you call it? I'm just going to change my current playlist. Let me just delete this little bit here. No, not like that. I mean this tiny bit there. There we go. Okay, alright. What stream is this? This would be stream 52, so save as. I'm not going, I'm just saving. Okay, let's quickly change. I'm going to switch to this view whilst I change the music. Okay, Jellyfin. Let's see. Fade you out. Oh wait, no, I can't fade you out like that because you can probably still hear it. What should I put on? Something a bit more up-tempo. Like maybe the same level of up-tempo as this. Just so I don't completely and utterly fall asleep. Oh, we just listened to that one recently, so not that. Ideally not something with too many lyrics. See, I'm yawning. This is why I can't listen to something too down-tempo, because I'm just going to fall asleep, I feel. What about if I go to some of the more recent things I've added to my what do you call it, library? Let's see. I don't want to keep playing the same stuff I've been playing recently though, so I'm going to try really hard to think of something new. I've played that one recently, so not that. I've played those ones too recently. What about if I play... Oh wait, let me go to my mixes. You know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to play a mix. I hope that's okay with everybody. Right. I'm going to play this one. This might be too up-tempo, but let's try it out. So this is part of the Growing Bin Records mixers. Growing Bin Records is like a record label, and they have guest mixers every so often. And this is an old one from 11 years ago. Flipping heck. There you go. Alright, I'm going to go back to drawing view. Bang. Let's keep going for another like 20-ish minutes, 25 minutes. No, I can go for a bit longer. 20 past. So I can go on for like another 20, quarter, half an hour, let's say. Yeah, about half an hour. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I'll go on for another half an hour. Firstly, I want to change what this looks like here. I want to make it a little bit bigger and a little bit rounder. Okay, cool. I keep saying cool, like Abed from Community. Anybody else enjoy that show? I quite liked it. I wonder if it's really dated. I've not seen it for ages. When did I watch Community? It wouldn't have been when it first came out. It would have been a bit later. I'm going to say probably about 10 years ago. When did it come out? It came out mid 2000s, late 2000s, 2008. When was the first season of Community? I think I watched it roughly around the same time that Silicon Valley, the sitcom, was also out. Was it roughly around then? So was that about 10 years ago? Feels like it. I bet that hasn't aged well either, Silicon Valley. I mean, I know that some of the actors in it have been, well, does the term lightly cancelled, is that a thing? Ever so lightly cancelled for being slightly perverted? Perverts? Am I spreading gossip? No, I don't think so. It's all out there. Easily Googleable. Googleable. I think I read somewhere that one of the female actors in it said that she felt quite uncomfortable through a lot of the filming of Silicon Valley due to the behaviour of some of the male actors, and yeah, I probably shouldn't say more than that. You can Google it. I don't want to say anything that might not be true. So yeah, kind of when that sort of stuff comes out, like your I guess you start doing a bit of retrospective judgment, because I quite liked it at the time, but now, and it's maybe been tinged by that knowledge, and I'm like, oh, maybe I didn't like it as much as I thought I did. I mean, the likelihood now of me watching it again is zero. I'm talking specifically here about Silicon Valley. I know that Community, obviously being a Dan Harmon project, you could argue has some of the same qualms, but I feel like, I don't know, I shouldn't really be, apples and oranges and all the rest of it. I shouldn't be comparing, really. Oh, you know what I want to do? I might have to cheat for this just so I don't have to redraw the whole thing. I just want to move it all across a little bit. Ooh, bit of Welsh language here. Sorry, YouTube watchers, not listeners. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just tweak it over a little bit. Like I think 2 notches. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that horrific cheating. And now, am I happy with this mallet? I think I could make it a bit cooler. Really cool. If I did something like... If I did it more like this, actually. I'm pretty sure this is Welsh language. Can Tom Jones speak Welsh? Is that a known thing? I'm assuming he knows the odd Welsh phrase. But is he a Welsh speaker? Because he might be from that generation of Welsh people who like it was frowned upon. Like learning Welsh was not seen as like a necessity. You know, a bit of cultural repression in his generation. It's funny how that works. It's more funny actually that people ever think it's a good idea. Like what does the rest of the UK or the UK government stand to gain by repressing? They don't do that anymore. They don't do this anymore, or at least I don't think they do. I mean, there's lots of Welsh language school and Welsh TV programming, so I'm pretty sure it's not a... You know, I'm pretty sure that Welsh language now is promoted, but back in the day, I mean, I guess the idea was to control, and you know, if you can speak a language that other people can't, that's a form of power, right? Oh, sorry, that's my phone. That's my phone telling me to shut up because I don't know what I'm talking about. No, it isn't. That's just a text message. Pardon me whilst I just have a quick look at the script. I'm just going to check this text message and try to speak in English. Okay. Fortunately, it's not an email that I'm hoping for. I wonder if I'm going to get this email at the end of the day. I feel like, unfortunately, sometimes with some clients, even so, animation is a very time-consuming... Well, okay, within reason. I sometimes feel like studios and certain clients, especially if they're not animation, people that specialise in animation, they kind of don't prioritise the animation side of a project. So even if they say things like in the initial email that it's like a tight turnaround and this, that and the other, they still don't necessarily prioritise like the briefing and that sort of thing. Does that make any sense? Okay, so... Anyway, I started this by asking, does Tom Jones speak Welsh? You'd hope so. You'd hope so. I mean, like I say, he probably knows, if he doesn't speak Welsh, he probably knows the odd phrase. Now, could he sing in Welsh? Now we're asking. Now that's a question. And you know what? I reckon he can sing in Welsh more than he can speak Welsh, because I reckon there are some Welsh language folk songs which he would have learned regardless of the political climate of the time he grew up in. You know, because I feel like music and lyrics and poetry are one of those things where even in a repressed language society, that kind of stuff still gets passed on. Because I think it's probably seen as being less threatening, or more kind of weirdly less threatening, but also more sentimental. Anyway, so the town where my mum grew up in Poland is called Zakopane, and it is a mountainous town. It's in the very south of Poland, pretty much as south as you can get. And in that part of the world, there is actually a dialect of Polish. Actually, I guess it's not even... It's like a... What did I read? I read the Wikipedia article about it once. Anyway, there's this particular dialect, and it's like a Carpathian. The mountains that Zakopane is next to is part of the Carpathian mountain range, or as they call them in Poland, Tatry. And again, I feel like it's a language that holds a lot of sentimental value for people, but also was repressed, I think, for a bit. My grandmother, who although lived in Zakopane, hence that's where my mum grew up, she wasn't native to Zakopane. She moved there after the Second World War, and she, I think, like a lot of people of her generation, were quite snooty about this dialect. So it's quite funny, isn't it, how dialects can be, on the one hand, very important cultural touchstones, but on the other hand, also kind of looked down upon as being like almost like a Creole, you know? I guess that's just it, isn't it? It's like the whole Creole argument. Like, how serious do you take a dialect? Man, I'm really struggling with these rounded corners, and it's beginning to tick me off. I think I'm learning in this, from streaming, I'm learning that I like to say English phrases with a very bad American accent. That really gets my goat. Although some of these might actually be used in the States too, I don't know. Really having a laugh. That one was made famous by Ricky Gervais. Is Ricky Gervais now basically part of the manosphere? For all intents and purposes. I mean, he certainly looks like it. He's gone down the... oh, I've got a bot I can ban. This bot is called Blurred Incumbency TC Roo. Blurred Incumbency. Wow, Blurred Incumbency. These like generated names are sometimes really profound. Goodbye, blocked. Yeah, it really makes you think. Okay, am I happy with this? I don't know. I'm not quite sure actually. I think what I need to do is just simplify a little bit here again. So where I've got it a bit square here, I'm going to actually round it. It's actually drawing the smaller stuff, which is a bit trickier than drawing the big stuff. How about that? Because you're, I guess you're dealing more with, gestural type stuff. Cutting things back. Okay, what other details can I add to this without it getting really swamped? I'm going to do a little bit of a cable. Where from though? How about if I actually make this a little bit smaller and then from the top, the former top bit, I might have like a little connector that's connecting to a cable, because all this kind of tech from these days, wireless was not a thing, and batteries frankly weren't a thing too, so you'd need, batteries were a thing, but they were nowhere near as efficient and didn't last anywhere near as long as batteries do today. So everything really, especially for like security type things like this alarm bell, would have needed to have been powered by cable. Oh dear, excuse me. Actually, what if, let me have a little think, what if it goes down this way and then I connect it somehow there? No, that's too clever, I think, again. No, I think that's too clever. I'm going to just have it come off here. So it's going to come over, then come up, connect that way. I will tidy this up in a second. It feels a bit crude, but again, it's because of how small it is and how it needs to be quite legible at a distance. Okay, so this needs to get redrawn from about here. Mirror, please. That'll make my life a bit easier. Time is at 1:19. Okay, I'll work for a tiny bit longer. Why am I not hearing back from this potential client? It is really stressing me out. I think it's because I've had a couple of meetings that didn't end up going anywhere. So now I feel like, am I on some kind of weird streak where no matter how many meetings I take, it's just nothing's happening. Cursed. I've been cursed. It's the only explanation I can think of. the worst fate anyone can have is being cursed, right? Surely. Okay. Oi, oi, oi. No. Okay. Wibbly wobbly line. There we go. And then just this one here. And then what I'm going to do is work out how it connects to the alarm itself. No, you're not going to let me turn. There we go. Cool. It's really chugging. Right, so then how about if we do something like this? No, I'm not happy with that. I've got a better idea. I think I'm going to do it more like this. And then if I delete this bit here, I'm going to do something like a little bit of a kink here, because then it kind of gives it a little bit of an impression that it's not perfect. Just a little kink like that, just so it feels not quite like it's a diagram, because it's feeling a bit diagrammatic at the moment. But that's partially because it's had to be quite pared down, this particular bit, just because it is so it's going to be so tiny in the whole composition. Why am I talking like that? What am I doing? I'm doing that because I want to... Wait, if I zoom out a tiny bit... Man, trying to get these rounded corners to sort of look symmetrical is annoying. Okay, that's not terrible, is it? I think also this is like a bit of a detail that's unnecessary. Hold on, let me do that better. If I do that, come on, and then let's see what that looks like from a distance. Yeah, I think I like it. I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it as it is for now. Can always change it a bit if I don't like it. I'm sure I might tweak it at some point. But yeah, fine. Okay, I'm going to add one more tiny detail though, I think, just to, well, first of all, I'm going to add one circle here, so it gives the impression of a, what do you call it, like some kind of hinge for that bell. But also, I wonder if I'm going to also just very cheekily move this up, because I want this to be really very thin looking. Oh, this is where it really makes Toon Boom chug, when you do pretty simple actions like this. There you go, because I think it's accounting for every single pivot point in the area. Okay, there we go, yeah, that's better. And uh-oh. This is where I should have just left it alone, but let's give it another go. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so the two little things, how big are these in a door? How big are these down here? Okay, they're about that big. So I'm going to do a couple of those here. I think that's roughly the same size. Do I need to do one here? Is that getting a bit messy? Let's see, and maybe one down here, I guess. Again, I'm not entirely... Oh, please, Toon Boom, hurry up. I'm not entirely sure that it doesn't kind of just make it all a bit messy. Let's see. Let's see actually more from like here. I wonder if actually with the bell, for the bell actually what I do is with this top bit, so actually have it a bit more like this. Where it's not a completed line. Oh boy, but Toon Boom is kind of struggling a bit. Yeah, I think I prefer it like that. Do I? Think so. What about if I was to delete this line? Go away. No, I think I preferred it with that line in still. Oh, heaven's sake. There we go. Yeah, something like that. That's fine. Okay, I think that's it. I'm afraid that's it. I didn't really have much time to do anything else because I've got stuff to do now. Well, what was the other thing I wanted to do? Oh yeah, the strip lights and that. Yeah, that's going to take a bit of time. So I've left the marks that's where I'm going to do them. I forget what layer that is though. Oh. So yeah, I'm going to call it a day for now. It was just a shortish one, so I could... Oh, clearly this is not the layer I think it is. No, not that layer. It's that layer, okay. Cut. And then... what layer is this? That's that one, so I'm going to do one above here. And I'm going to call it... No, that's a new peg. I'm going to do that. And do... rough ceiling bits. There we go. And close. Control Shift V. No? There we go. Okay, cool. Alright, so let me just, I think I'm happy with this. Also, I might end up tweaking it a little bit. It just feels very crude in comparison to a lot of the other things I've drawn, but that kind of has to be just because of how small it is. I wonder if actually I could even remove... Oh, what layer is this? There we go, it's this one. I'm just going on the wrong layer. If I get rid of that, actually, what does that feel like? Sometimes it's just a matter of removing lines. It can be that simple. Oh no. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know how happy I am with this. I wonder if it also would help. Okay, I'm going to do one last thing. I'm really sorry. One last thing, and I'm going to change this. No, change this into just a ball. Forget this mallet idea. I'm just going to have it as a simple ball on a stick. The type we're all familiar with. In fact, let me just delete those lines in general and then have the ball idea. Right, something like that. And then no. Uh-oh. Annoying line. Annoying curve. Is that what I'm trying to draw? I think so. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. No, it is. I also meant to do that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to move this a little bit further away actually. Have it a bit more like here so it's not touching the bell exactly, it's just a little bit further away. So there's a bit more of a anticipation feeling about it. I mean, it's the funny thing is it's all so small, so it'll be barely noticeable. And then, yeah, I'm actually happy with this design. Okay, so, and then I think I'm gonna have it more like a curve, because you know, I love all these curved lines. Yeah, a bit more like that, and then actually I'm gonna have it so it's continuous. All right. Do I prefer this? I think I do. But do I actually, maybe it would be better if it was here. Oh my goodness, you know, I'm going to draw it one more time. I tell you what, I'm going to draw on a separate layer. There we go. And I'm going to draw it more so it's like here. Okay, maybe is that better? And then delete this little bit here. Yes, I think this might be it. I think I might be leaving it at that. There we go. Do we need these lines at all? Just keep pairing it back and back and back and back. Actually, you know what? I reckon one of those lines. Oh! Ah! Toon Boom. So slow right now. So slow. Because I need to rasterize this as soon as possible. Half of my frustration is just having to wait at the moment for Toon Boom to calculate everything, you know. I can't quite rasterize just yet, only because I've not completely finished everything. You know, once I've sort of finished all the drawing, I want to do a little once over that I'm happy with all the rest of the designs. What if I was to take these away? Put them back. How about getting rid of these, but not the corner bits? What about like this? Yeah, maybe that. Okay, I have to go anyway, so it doesn't really matter. What is it I don't... Oh, you know what? I'm going to make these rounded rather than sharp, so they're a bit more like the rest of it. Maybe I should just draw that whole top a bit. Ugh. Gross. Mirror? Mirror, mirror on the wall, help me draw this line so I can leave. Mirror, mirror on my Cintiq tablet, help me, just help me. Right, little tweak here. Okay, alright. I think that looks exactly the same as it did before I deleted it. Okay, so time for me to go. Literally have to go right now because, as usual, I've spent far too much just trying to faff at the very end of the stream. But yeah, I'm actually not too displeased with how it looks. This something alarm. Okay. How about also if I did, I think I'm overdoing it now, but if I did it so that it was a bit more like, no, that's no good. No, I'm gonna leave it. What does this need? Does it need anything? Let's look at it from its actual size. No, it doesn't need anything at all. What are you talking about? Just leave it. Come on. I'm going to do a tiny bit of cheating just so I can go. I think I need to just lower this down a notch. Yeah, okay. I think that's it. I think that might be it. Okay, cool. Yeah, and just have those two at the bottom. Alright, I'm going to have to go. But yeah, I think I'm happy with that, but I don't know. I can't tell anymore. I've drawn it so many times. Alright, cool. Let's do that. And I'll say goodbye, because I have to go. See you. And yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting for this possible meeting. That means I might have a project. If I don't have a project, I'll be back on Thursday, I think, to do a bit more. But if not, then yeah, might be busy for a while. See if I can maybe do some streaming occasionally, like over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and we'll eventually get this line work done, right? I mean, we're getting there. It's taking forever, but that's just the way it is. Bye bye. See you later, alligators.